Hello and welcome back. It is once again time to fight the good fight and try to rescue an ailing PS4. This time it's a PS4 Slim. I'm not sure what the model is. I forgot to look. But it has been worked on, I can tell. It's been taken apart. Several screws missing. And this screw, that goes right here, was there, but it was shoved through from the other direction. It was the tip of it was sticking out the hole there. So yeah, somebody has been into this thing. And let me show you what it's doing. It's doing, well, a whole lot of nothing. I do have it plugged in. And eject. Nothing. Power. Nothing. Pretty much dead, so we will of course start with another power supply if I have one to even try. Let me see if I have one, and we'll go from there. Well, we are in luck. I did have one that was compatible. It's one of the models with the square pins on it. I'm wondering if this is going to fix the problem though, because all these screws are missing. So somebody's already been in here. It looks like they've already tried swapping the supply out, and I'm guessing that didn't fix whatever the problem was. But we're going to give it a try anyway. Let's see what happens. Shoot. Dead. No power. And I know that's a good supply. So, motherboard issue. That's great. Alright, before I fully disassemble this thing, I want to do a few quick tests. We are plugged in over here. And this is my test supply in here. I just want to see if we have any kind of, voltages. Like this is the board with the power and eject buttons. There should be 3.3 volts present on here somewhere. If I can get that to focus. Let me just grab some points. I'll see if I can get the meter in there. Maybe I'll reposition things a little. Somewhere on here. Can't see it too well without the microscope. So I'm seeing some voltages there. Let's see, what about right up here? 2.95. Now that's odd. That should be 3.3. Somewhere in here there should be a solid 3.3. Oh, that 3.59, 3.6. That is odd. 3.6. I'm just actuating the Blu-ray switch to see if it would turn it on. It does not. Seeing some odd voltages. I didn't think there was anything higher than 3.3 going to this little board over here. I could be wrong. Oh, okay, there is a 5 volts here, 4.87. Yeah, that's got to be standby 5 volts. So maybe there's 5. I didn't remember 5 volts going to it, but evidently there is. So we do have standby voltages, at least some standby voltages. We are inside of the workbench. And let's just make a few quick checks. See if I can get my meter in the shot here. Maybe I'm zoomed in too much. If we're gonna play the odds here, we should probably take a look around the south bridge. Just if you're going to play the high percentage chance shots here, this area right in here. I'm not sure what point this meter beeps, because that's 16 ohms right there. And it's not beeping. You ever noticed what the trigger point was on this one? So the first place I check right here, 16 ohms. Maybe that's ground. I bet this thing's. I bet that's ground. There we go. Still, why is it not beeping? Did I turn off the? My leads are a little bit intermittent. That's always fun. Let's see if we can zero that out. Okay, now we're nulled. 0 is 0. So that's ground side. That's 500 ohms. Let me make sure my meter stays in the shot there. I'm just going to check several of these bypass capacitors underneath this south bridge, because it is the cause of so many problems. Not all of them. It does have a bad reputation, though. I haven't looked to see if this is the 42GG or not. There does seem to be some models that are more prone to failing than others. And the 42GG is pretty infamous for that. That's ground there, 200 ohms there. I'm not seeing, that's ground. Wait a minute, what is that? That's ground on one side of this capacitor, and that is 2 ohms. See if that's showing up. So, whatever that's connected to, you can see it. If I can get the shot, that capacitor, yeah, right there. 2 ohms short to ground. And that is the south bridge. This is a 36G. So, could be the south bridge. What else could it be? Possibly Wi-Fi module. Let me zoom back out. I mean, it is shorted. I am measuring a short right there underneath the south bridge. Let's see. It's this capacitor here, which looks to be going directly under the south bridge. So the odds are pretty good. And I'm not sure if I have a 36G. Let me see what I've got. Well, I have decided to break out the thermal cam just to confirm it's our south bridge is shorted. So I'm going to inject 1 volt at 1 amp right on that capacitor that we measured the short on. And let's see what gets hot. And that would be our south bridge. Yikes, a little bit warm. Oh, I thought it was really, that's not really that hot. But yeah, that's where all the current's going. Drawing 346 milliamps. Not really reading a short right now. That's odd. Did my short just suddenly cure itself? I doubt that. Well, it's been about 3 weeks since I've worked on this particular PlayStation. Had to wait for some parts to come in, which, if I can get them out of the envelope. There we are. 36Gs. So we are ready to remove this one. I will be using this preheater to warm the board up slowly and then use hot air from above. But yeah, let me get on with it. I'll get the camera in a tripod and we'll get started. Well, our board is getting pretty warm now. Let's see if we can get this chip off. And this is lead-free solder, so it's going to take a little bit to get it off, but with the help of this preheater, it should come along much quicker. Yep, and we are free. And we have our chip. Turn off the preheater. Now I had hoped to be able to clean this off and put down the new chip while it's still warm, but I just noticed these chips are not pre-balled. They have not been reballed yet. They're just pulled straight off of the boards they took them off of, so I got to reball the chip before we can do this. But I will go ahead and do some cleanup on here while it's still nice and warm. Well, I got out the one of these reballed, apparently South bridges that I bought, the 36Gs, and I thought it had not been reballed, but I think I was wrong. There was an attempt made to reball this. Let's take a look under the microscope, and if you look, I mean, yeah, most of them are right, but like over in this corner over here, clearly we've had some joined together, and down in this corner we've got a pad with nothing on it. There you go. So maybe, and these are kind of small, the top row looks small, so maybe I can, you know, salvage this, clean some of these balls that aren't right out and replace just those. It'd be better than redoing this whole thing. Alright, well, we are reballed, and I put the chip on the board and physically aligned it as best I could. Let's get this board warmed up and get this process started. I'm going to warm this thing up slowly, and then we'll hit it for some heat from above. Alright, the board is getting nice and toasty. My goal here is to flow this thing into place within 1 minute. I'm going to be using my hot air station at 320 degrees Celsius, maximum airflow, and that's my goal. 1 minute and just float it in place. Just trying to minimize the amount of heat I put on these things, because I have killed them with heat before. So let's see what happens. Haven't seen it move any, but I had it lined up pretty good. See if I can nudge it. Nope. Oops. Just turned off my heater. Power switch is in a bad spot. I don't think I'm going to make 1 minute. I am going to add a little more flux. I've put down a very thin layer of it. Right now she's rocking back and forth. I'll take the heat off. Turn off the preheater. That took longer than I would have liked. I'm still tweaking on my methods here. So let's let it cool off, and then maybe we'll take a peek underneath those solder balls and see how they look. Let's see if we can take a look at this south bridge from the side. Well, it looks like it should work, I hope. We are back out in the garage. I'll slip this board back into the chassis. I did put the hard drive in it for the heck of it. Yeah, okay. This is the original supply, which I think is good. Yeah, I guess we're ready to try this, aren't we? Oh, that fan is awful dirty, isn't it? That's the least of our problems, though. Let's see. Do we have eject this time? Oh, you know what? It'd help if I actually connected the power. It would help. All right. Now, I always do that. Do we have eject? No. That's disappointing. We don't even have eject. And we are dead. What the hell? Totally dead. That's disappointing. Alright, it looks like our original supply was crap, because I checked on the 4-pin connector right there. I had no 5-volt standby. So I'm afraid this is going to be a case of where somebody took their junk PS4 parts, threw them together in a box, in a chassis, and sold it to some poor sucker on eBay. Alright, so this supply is definitely putting out 5-volt standby. Do we have eject? We don't. Well, we still don't. What the hell? We still have a problem. Okay, it's never easy. It looks like the original supply is dead. Totally dead. My spare supply, oh, not that one. Where is it? Over here. The test supply is putting out 5-volt standby, but the pin that says the power supply, is good, is not coming up to 4 or 5 volts. I'll show you down here. I went and grabbed another supply out of a slim that's waiting for a 42 GG, and let's see if I can get everything in the picture. This should be 5 volts, and it is 5-volt standby. The next pin is ground. The next pin is where the chassis will turn on the supply, and this last pin is supposed to be 4 or 5 volts like that. That indicates that's the signal from the power supply to the chassis that, hey, everything's good, I'm ready to come up. And it won't come on without that. So let's see if the third time is the charm. I seem to be snake bit on this stuff. I thought that test supply was good. Will she eject now? She will. She beeps. She beeps. It's been so long, my monitor's actually gone off. Come on, wake up, monitor. All right, now, third time's going to be the charm. I know it is. I was waiting for the monitor to come on and tell me it does not have a signal. There we go. Here we go. Blue light. Flashing blue. Monitor so set up. The monitor just went locked. Look at that. Glorious PlayStation logo. That was a long ways coming. Okay, and the hard drive is in it, so it's going to boot up to somebody's desktop background. So let me see. But that looks amazing after all this. Okay. It's working. So, in short, yeah, this thing did not have a dead south bridge and a dead power supply. Somebody took their junk parts, combined them, and sold them to some poor sucker. Me. Dead power supply, I'll have to fix that. And I've got to look into my supposed test supply, which I thought I tested, but it was not. Like I said, it was putting out 5-volt standby, 4.8, but the power good signal was not present. So there's something going on there. Okay, I think this video's gotten to be long enough. I hope that was somewhat interesting, educational, entertaining. If it was, please give me a thumbs up. And I will see you in the next repair, which may be a 42G sitting in the box over there waiting. Now that part's coming from China. It's going to be a month before I get that part. I'll see you in the next repair, though. Bye for now.